Gamido and our grandfather, Gaspar Gamido, who lived to be 103, he almost owned the whole town. So Henry was the young one. Henry was about 6 and I was 4. And I always had to stay with him because he was not allowed to go out and play. Our grandfather had to barricade us with iron bars.
Barbed
And
wire?
when he was 6 years old,
Yeah.
he climbed that iron bar and he stuck his leg in there. And our grandfather said, "Good, now you will not be able to walk." And so poor Henry, he was there. So I was crying. I said, "Grandpa, you have to take care of him." And so Grandpa said, "No," because he never listens. He was always trying to sneak out. But can you imagine 2 little young ones, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, cannot go out and play with all the other kids running around the whole streets? They can go swimming at the beach, they can go swimming at the river, but we cannot go out. So that's the way we were brought up. Then when the war broke up, my mom had a business, so he had lots of money. He had a trucking business going on back and forth. So Henry was the treasurer of my mom. He had money in big baskets, and I would help him carry the baskets of money because I didn't get any, but he did. And he was always saying, when we crossed the street, he would say, "Be careful now, because you might, some dogs might come run over us." I said, "No, don't worry, I will take care of you." And somehow, I always said I was going to take care of him, so that many of the people in the village and in the town thought I was the older one, but I was actually the younger one. But I always had to stay home because of him, because if I went out, he was looking out those barricaded gates and he was saying, come back here." So I would say, "No, you come out." So he said, "No." So, because every time he tried to go out, our grandfather would threaten. One time, our grandfather, told him the story in the Robin Hood, that friar in Robin Hood. I called our grandpa that friar and the rock because he was a mean Spaniard guy, He'd say, "If you try to go out again, I'm going to put your legs in this chopping board and cut them off." And I would go there kneeling down. I said, "Please, Grandpa, don't do that." And I was always protecting him. So we grew up that way.
That sounds kind of strict, Mom.
He was so imprisoned as a child. So that when we got here to the States, he almost like, the Prince and the Pauper. As soon as he was out the prison bar, he said to our dad when we got here, he said to our dad, "I'm going to work my way to school." So our dad said, "How are you going to do that?" So he said, "Get me a job." So our dad got him a job at the Arctic Club.
Where was this? Where did you guys move?
Huh?
Where did you live? Where was
In
this?
Seattle.
In Seattle. We came to
So
Seattle.
you came to Seattle?
Yeah, we came first.
Okay.
My brother and I took the President liners where we stopped 2 days in every port. It was real nice. It was very costly. My dad said we spent more money than what he bought the house at 815 17th Avenue. And so when we got here, my brother said to our dad, "I will work my way to college. You don't need to worry about me." He said, "I want a car." He told your grandpa. But your grandpa said, I have no money to buy you a car. Well, I'm going to call mom to buy me a car. So she called your grandma. Your grandma told your grandpa to buy him a car. So they bought him. He always wanted a convertible car. So you know, in the Philippines,
You remember that, Uncle?
Yeah?
You remember those things?
yeah, when Henry was growing up, he was the only kid in the whole island, in the whole village, in the town, that was driven by this T-Ford car. He had his own driver to go to school. I cannot even ride with him. I had to walk.
With your aunt or something, and he lived with
I
your
was
mom.
living with Grandpa, and but we are right in the same compound. Right,
But you
this
didn't
is-
live together.
This is Grandpa's house, and this is Grandma's house.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, so I can just walk across
Family
the,
segregation.
there's no fence, so I can just walk there. And I had to always walk to go play with him because he had no playmate but me. So I get all the cousins, and like I was telling everyone here, when we were growing up, my grandfather had his own cellar wine. So we drank wine called
As kids?
Basi.
As kids?
And I would bring all of
Yeah.
them.
Why not?
Clarify. No, stay home or I'd go out.
That's his family.
That's where it came from, Peter.
Because my I mean, in the Philippines, the water is not safe to drink.
Yeah, drinking wine instead.
So my grandpa made his own wine, and I used to bring them all to the cellar for the wine.
That's where high all the time.
And,
I'm drunk.
and they would all be sleeping, and I'm the only one awake. So I go, Satan, get up now because
She was
grandpa is
tired,
coming. But that's the kind of life my brother and I had. We were very close together. He was very good to me. And when we got here, and he said to Dad, when he was going to Seattle U, he quit Seattle U, he joined the army without Dad knowing. And when we joined the army, he said to your grandpa, he said, this way I can get my GI Bill. So your grandpa said, where did you learn that? He said, all the kids in school, they're going to school in GI Bill. So I'm going to get my own GI Bill, so you don't need to worry about me. So your dad was actually rebelling against your grandpa. But he was always good to me. When he was in Germany, he sent me all kinds of stuff. When he got paid, he sent me his paychecks, you know. He didn't send it to grandma. But my brother had always been so kind to me, and I'll never forget him. He's my only brother, the one and only Henry Gamido, and he's not a junior, because my dad took his name, because they cannot say his name. Your grandpa's name was Hino,
Hino.
so he took his name, and that's the story.
Is that Higgin?
Yeah, H-I-G, I know, I think.
H-I-G-I-N-O.
Yeah, H-I-G.
Hino.
Cyrus H.
You guys are like listening because there's a test
And
after
he's
this.
not
And I'm
a
serious.
junior.
Hino.
Hachino.
Like I've been
He took his name. Yeah.
To the
And
States.
what he also did was when we came here, my brother took my birthday so that he is 2 years younger.
Yeah.
So he
Which
took,
I didn't find out till
yeah,
last year.
Oh.
yeah.
Really?
So technically he's 90, but
He is
No, his birth
90
certificate.
yeah.
Philippine birthday, but US
Yeah.
US is only 88.
Oh.
Because like me, every time they ask me, what's your birthday? Oh, I'm 86 US, I'm 88 Philippines. Because we tried to change it, we tried to change it. We went to many lawyers, but they cannot change it.
Change
So
it back.
that's the story.
Yeah.
That's from
He
Jessica.
wanted social security.
So what's the social security number? 90 or?
I'm just 80.
Legally, he's 95.